inspiring morning on our Gay Pride Sunday. And my talk today, my presentation is on spiritual awakening. And I believe that every day is a spiritual awakening. Every day we are coming from choice. And someone said, well, what do you feel enlightenment is? And I said, enlightenment is the moment that we know we have a choice. Choose thee this day whom you will serve. The moment we know that we don't ever have to do it the way we've done it before. We don't have to do the things that no longer serve us. In Japan, they have an ancient artisans that when something very precious is broken, in fact, it started in the 15th century with an ancient Chinese royalty, and this particular personage broke his favorite teapot, and he sent it to all of his artisans to have it fixed. And it came back with all kinds of horrible staples, and it just looked awful. And so what was interesting is that then the Japanese took it, and they created something called kintsugi. Kintsugi is where they take the broken pieces and gold resin, and they go wherever it's broken, they put the gold resin, and the article turns out so magnificent that now people are accusing them of breaking these artifacts and the china on purpose, because the kintsugi, the beauty and the energy of this piece of china is magnified by all the gold threads moving through it as one. The legend being that when we have been broken and we have suffered, and we come through it on the other side, we are more magnificent, we are more beautiful, we are deeper, we can open to life with a sense of compassion like we have never opened before. My assistant minister in San Diego for 13 years, Dr. Danny Gall, who I dedicate this service to, who passed of the AIDS virus, was with me through all of it, kind of like Dr. Rogers said, that, you know, through the thick and the thin of it, because when you're dealing with a nonprofit and a ministry, you're going to go through ebbs and tides, and you're going to have great flow, and you're going to have amazing contractions and expansions, and all of it. You're going to experience all of life, and when we experience all of life, we have a sense of, hey, I have been through it, and I'm coming out on the other side, more magnificently for the suffering, for the brokenness. Someone once said that, you know, it's in the broken places that we have grown and that we unfold and that we experience. And Danny's affirmation, I used to, you know, go before my 3,000 people in San Diego and say, we are the experience God is having, and it is a great one. And in San Diego, the Gay Pride Parade was on Saturday, so that everyone could be in services on Sunday. I hope someone's listening. And, right? And so it was the Gay Pride Parade on Saturday, and Danny, we were up there to say a few words for our spiritual community, because our spiritual community, all-inclusive, everyone is welcome. Our God is a God of oneness. And he got up and he said, I am the experience God is having, and it is a gay one. And let me tell you, there was such applause for 5 minutes. And the energy of, if we are the experience God is having, God works through us in amazing ways. And that I am the experience God is having, whatever persuasion we're in, wherever we are at any given moment, that energy is flowing through us, beyond color, race, creed, or sexual orientation. And so as we open today to the energy of Gay Pride Sunday, as we acknowledge that I am the experience God is having, it is a gay one, it is the energy of life, it is the energy of light, it is the energy that is flowing through us. And there was a great movie with Kevin Kline when he was going to be ostracized from receiving a teacher's award. The name escapes me for the moment, but it was a great, great film, and he was a gay man. And that the day that they took this award from him, every single student, His mother was the first one, if it's not one thing or the other, it's my mother. And she got up and she said, I want you all to know I'm gay. And then the father stood up and he said, I want you all to know I'm gay. Then the students began to stand up and say, I want you to know that I'm gay. And the whole theme throughout this was that we are one. There is no difference. We are one. The blood that courses through our veins courses through yours, and it's the same color. It's the same color. Regardless of what's going on in the pigment of our skin, as Martin Luther King said, it's the measure of a man's character that makes the difference. He said, hate will not drive out, hate will not drive out love. Only love can drive out hate. In other words, the love, the energy, the compassion, the wisdom in knowing that, as it says on your program today, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. What can I change? I can change myself. I can change my perspective. I can change how I'm viewing through my lens. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The courage to change the things I can, right? Ourselves. And the wisdom to know the difference. We cannot change anyone else. Convince a man against his will. He's of the same opinion still, right? And so as we open and we live and let live. And in Palm Springs, we have a special portal that opens up at 111. If you've noticed, and if you're in the awareness, as you round the curve, a portal opens, we drive through, and it closes. We're very, very insulated on many levels here in Palm Springs. And I think that there is a very high consciousness here. And if you've noticed that this desert, the Coachella Valley, Coachella meaning the hand of God, it either embraces you and takes you in or just spits you out because you are not a good fit. It is not a vibrational match and you're out of here as fast as you can. But the ones that are drawn, that love it and feel the energy here, this is holy ground in which we walk. It was indigenous ground. It's the energy of light. When I had my star dedication, November 14th, coming up, last year, I wanted my star in front of that beautiful bronze Indian woman because she had an energy, and the sculptor did such a beautiful job on her. And I felt like where I stand is holy ground, and in this indigenous energy, it's amazing. And spiritual awakening, when we are spiritually awakened, we feel a kinship with every living thing. As you know, R.J. Taylor is our virtual rescue with all the precious little four-leggeds, and we've got little Jax here that with his little rainbow hat on, he couldn't be cuter. We are in community with every living thing. I feel it when my plants need watering. I feel that energy, and I said, oh, you're crying out to me. I saw a cartoon once, and it had a huge old plant. It was all bent over, and the guy standing there with his little water can. He says, is it something I said? Wait a minute here. Every living thing responds to energy. We all respond to energy. And so when my Danny passed, it was quite devastating for me, very devastating. And I was crying and really missing him. And suddenly I heard and I saw, this was such a mystical experience. I saw him, and he said, you know I'm always there for you, and that I love you. But I want you to know, I got my wings. Out of pain, out of suffering, out of dis-ease, I got my wings. So each and every one of us, that when we move from this plane to the next, and believe me, I've been doing this 41 years, and in the 80s, I was doing memorial services once and twice a week because of the AIDS virus. So energetically, I feel that at a deep level, that energy is neither destroyed nor created. When it changes form, it changes form. So it brings enlightenment. It brings energy of oneness. That through all of that suffering, so many people were enlightened, and so many people, celebrities, stepped forward and made the voice known that this is something that needs to be cured. This is something that needs to be healed. This is something that we need to address at this moment. And as we open the awareness and we feel that oneness, is there a lot of work to do on the planet? Hell yes, a lot of work, right? But we do what we can where we are with the tools that we have. And it's not about being little goody two-shoes. It's about putting the works with the faith, because faith without works is dead. And when I was in Africa and I was feeding these beautiful Africans, the Reverend Dr. Ida, who was a Catholic priest in Africa, feeding 500 people a day and giving, and RJ was there feeding them with us and giving out the boxes, and you know, they were just grabbing hold of them. They were hungry, and there was an energy, a frenetic energy that culminated, and yet there was a peace that passed all understanding, that here is one African priest that didn't say, well, what can I do? I'm only one. He's feeding 500. He founded 5 manufacturing companies. He said all the unemployed are now gainfully employed. He founded 3 universities in Africa in a little obscure village called Alili, where then the Pope went out when he built a cathedral that seats 25,000 and blessed the cornerstone of that cathedral. And we sat in that cathedral and had these amazing experiences. And when I was in London speaking, I was asked by one of the parishioners if I would do a reading for the Catholic Church. I thought that would never happen in our country. I can't imagine the Monsignor here in Palm Springs, but maybe he will. I'm just going to open the space as I say that. You know, isn't it wonderful that we can just open the space and allow God to do what God does best by means of each and every one of us? But I have never had the experience of anyone in the West of Catholicism ask me to participate in the Mass. But they asked me, because in the African Mass, in fact, RJ broke down crying because he was so moved. They dance, and they do the African dancing and singing, and the Mass it's a celebration of spirit, mind, and body. And body. And when we feel that amazing connection, why do we weep? Because it stimulates cellular memories, and that we know that we are one, beyond color, race, creed, and sexual orientation. We make mistakes, we pick ourselves up, and we keep on keeping on. And it's out of that courage to get up every single day, and not always feeling very good as well. And at those moments to just say, you know what, and this is what I say, when I don't feel totally myself, I know that on a deeper level, I am perfect, complete, and whole, even though I'm not realizing it at the moment. That there is a power within me that does know. And so I open to that power and that presence. And then, you know, I go about my business, and maybe my energy is lower that day, but that's all right, because I know that something within me needs rest. And so we honor the physical embodiment, that we are a vehicle to do the will of He who sent us. And what is that will? It's about being kind. The Dalai Lama said it. My religion is simple. It's kindness. It's kindness. So I love our way of life. I love each and every one of you who showed up, and especially our gay community today, that you could have been at the parade. And you chose to be here, and that's very moving to me. And deeply, I'm in deep gratitude, because I feel that we have something so special to give to the world, and that this daily life, which is our temple and our religion, is open to grow, expand, and unfold in amazing ways. Because where are we going? We are going where? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. And so it is. God bless you. I love you. And I know this day where we are going. And so it is. Happy Gay Pride Sunday.